Hey y'all, see that little machine right there? That little machine right there is life changing. I don't know if any of y'all have anybody in your family that has mobility issues, but let me tell you, if you do and you don't have one of these mobility scooters, you are really missing out. And I just want to give y'all a little story of what recently has happened and how this all came to be. Y'all know that I'm a serial entrepreneur and always looking for business opportunities, and Mom came home a few weeks ago and we had to have in-home hospice. And so she obviously is not going to need this electric wheelchair any longer. And so I put an ad on Facebook Marketplace for this little jazzy scooter, which is absolutely fabulous. And I've learned since it's not a scooter, this is an electric wheelchair. But anyways, I always call it a scooter. But when I put that out there, my heart was broke because I received a lot of people asking me about it. And one in particular was this young man who had told me that his father-in-law had had a stroke and he needed something like this so bad, but they did not have the $600 and they didn't have any money to put towards it. And he was just kind of pleading with me to come up with a solution. And he showed me a bunch of pictures and he said, I am willing to trade you anything that we have here. And he sent me a bunch of pictures and stuff of some items that they had if I would trade him for my scooter. And my heart just really broke for this man and his family. And I received a couple of other similar stories like that. And y'all, we take for granted, you know, something that's $500, $600, $1,000, $2,000, something like this that can literally change people's lives, and they don't have the money for it. My heart just breaks. And so I thought, wow, let me get on here and let me see how much these scooters are. You know, I've been used to, when we go to Disney World and different places, you know, we always rent those scooters, and I'll tell you another story here in a minute. But anyways, and I know how expensive they are. And I thought, you know, let me see if we've got some local agencies around here. And I was really shocked. It's like $75 a day. And for a long-term commitment, it was almost $500 a month to rent one of these scooters. And y'all, people don't have that kind of money. And I thought there has got to be an affordable option out here, you know, for people. And keep in mind, you know, the economy sucks right now, so people, their credit may be dinged and they may not be able to apply for financing. I know some of these medical places have financing, and some of them just can't afford it, period. You know, they could afford a little bit, but nothing like what these current places are offering. And just to give you a personal testimony of what happened for us a few years ago, Rob was injured in Iraq, and this meant that he could not go to places like parades or anywhere where he had to walk for a while. He couldn't go down to the harbor, he couldn't go down to the beach, he couldn't do any of those things. And someone put us in contact with this wonderful organization called SEGS for Vets. And they provided these SEGs for veterans who had been wounded but who could use that. And let me tell you, y'all, it changed his life. And that was a nonprofit. And so I got to thinking to myself a few days ago, and yesterday in particular, when I started doing all this research, why couldn't I come up with a business plan where we had a for-profit section and set up a foundation to provide these mobility things for those who can't afford them? And here's my thoughts: not to buy, but to let them borrow. Sort of like in the military, we have those lending closets, right? We have lending closets where we go in and we can borrow the stuff temporarily till all of our home goods gets there, or whatever the deal is. And my head has just really been reeling over this for the last couple of days, trying to figure something out. I just think there's a lot of people out here who could use a service like this and who could use a hand up. For those of you who might be thinking, well, Medicare and all of that, there is something that Medicare will cover a part of it, I think, and that I don't know what all the red tape is, but personally I don't want to get involved in any kind of government anything, really, just don't. Red tape is too much and all of that stuff, regulations, I don't want to do it. So that's not what this is for. What I'm wanting to do is help people to get out of their house. You know, not for the little electric wheelchairs that they need. I know that's important, but I think there's other places that might provide that service. I know one of my classmates' wives sent me a message and said in Arkansas, they had kind of like a lending closet, and that's kind of what got me on this idea about the nonprofit portion of this, about how great it would be. And when I was looking, I couldn't find anything, you know, that would be similar to that. I thought, man, that is fantastic. I just paid over $500, about $525 for this transporter for Mom. And how great would it have been if I could have found that to rent, or, you know, could have borrowed one temporarily for a little while to use in helping move Mom from the bed to the chairs and all that other kind of stuff. But most people just don't have an extra $500 laying around that they can use to go out and buy this equipment. So anyways, I'm just kind of curious if any of y'all out there, if you know of any nonprofit groups that are already doing this, and I'm specifically talking about mobility scooters, okay, where you can take them to the park, you can take them to the car show, or, you know, whatever, and have a little thing, a hitch on the back of your vehicle. Now, the ones that I'm looking at, you can fold them up a little bit, you know, but they're still kind of heavy. So for my intents and purposes, I'm thinking that I would like to provide everyone with a little hitch, a little trailer on the back, you know what I'm talking about, and just drive that thing up on there and then put it on there. But anyway, that's kind of where my heart is today. I just wanted to get out here and do a short video. Today in my pig group, we had a little meeting and we discussed it a little bit. And I'm just curious what your thoughts are. You know, what are your thoughts about providing affordable mobility scooters to people who are in need? What are your thoughts? I really am interested. If you think this is something viable that people would need, I mean, we could set these things up, you know, all across the United States. And like I said, the foundation piece would be where if they couldn't afford it, they would qualify for some funding that would help pay for it. So anyways, I'm going to hop off here. Just wanted to stop in and tell you about the opportunity that we have, that we could literally change some people's lives and make a positive impact by giving them mobility and letting them get out with their family. You know, it's hard to tug and lift and all of those things, even in a regular wheelchair. Just trying to get Mom into my SUV, y'all, I had to buy some things, and it was still really difficult, extremely difficult. So think about your loved ones, think about your neighbors and your friends and all of those things. And if you don't want to put your comments down below, by any means, send me a text message or send me an email or a DM or whatever. And what do you think about providing affordable mobility scooters to families across America? All right, y'all have a great weekend, and I will see y'all soon.